Hey everybody, so here I am in front of Tokyo Station, back for more information. I just talked with some people at the window at JR and searched all of the press releases on information that was released most recently, July 26th, and some more information from JNTO on August 2nd, which was just a couple of days ago. And we all know about the price increase. It is pretty crazy. You see here, this is going to be happening in October of 2023. The price increase in decades to cover the cost of tourism across Japan for JR, and in particular because the yen, and this is like personal feelings of people inside, the yen is quite strong, and it seems like this is a good time to do it. It is a very controversial stuff, and who's impacted? It's you and me, because some of these passes are available to foreign residents such as myself. More information. These passes include some of the ones that you've seen here before: the JR East Pass, the JR Tokyo Wide Pass, the Tohoku South Pass. All these passes will get price increases. So that means that regional passes in Japan are going to be getting price increases. And for me, this was news, because I had heard that regional passes would not be touched, because how are they going to increase tourism to some of the places that really need it if you have to pay 50-60% more for the pass? Less people are going to want to go there, including me. So I'm quite upset. But the one thing I never do is I never get upset with staff at windows, for example. Like, please don't do that. They're not the ones making the decisions. They're the ones that have to deal with this. And I think some of them might feel quite uncomfortable, especially in October, to tell people about this price hike. So just keep that in mind. The people working at JR are really good people. All right, let's take a look at here. This is from the press release, and by the way, the link is in the description. We all know that the price increase for the Tokyo JR Pass, the entire country, will go up between 67 and 77%, with the green card being a 77% increase, which is pretty high. This is for JR East, the JR East Pass, which I get a lot. It used to be 20,000 yen for 5 days of unlimited travel in Tohoku area. That's going to get an increase to 30,000 yen. So that means that it's an extra 10,000 yen in order to get that ticket, which I think this is hurting now people like me, people, YouTubers that want to go up there and stuff. I mean, it's only 10,000 yen. What is that, $75 or something? But that's still $75. The JR East Pass, Niigata, Nagano area. This is one that was crazy to me. The Tokyo Wide Pass. They had raised this already. It was like 8,000 yen to 10,000 yen, and then now to 15,000 yen. So it's already doubled within about 7 or 8 years, which is quite a large price increase. But this is available to me, so I can get this pass too. It's like 50,000 yen. What? Like, I didn't expect that price to go up at all. This gets you uses a Shinkansen to go to places like Karuizawa, to Eichiko Yuzawa, which is in Niigata. So we'll get you around Tokyo, and the Shinkansen's going towards the Sea of Japan. Even the price for the Narita Express went up by 1,000 yen. What? I told you guys already. Bus over there for 1,300 yen, and it'll take you just a couple of minutes longer, if not even be easier, because you have bags that you're wheeling, right? You have bags that you're wheeling. You see some people wheeling the bags over there. It's so much easier on a bus. And the Narita Express, you got to go down into the basement. It is really complicated to get off. At this station, anyways. Some of the other ones might be a little bit better. All right, I got a lot of information for you here. This comes from the regional passes. By the way, the links are in the description if you want to see the press releases yourself from each regional JR network. The Hokkaido Pass, you see on the bottom, the 10-day pass. This is a new product, which I think is great. It's a little bit expensive, but 30,000 yen for just Hokkaido, that might be a better pass than the JR full country pass. So there's a way where maybe you just go to Kyoto, come back, and then you want to do Hokkaido for 10 days. This pass makes a lot of sense now. And then you have other regional passes in Hokkaido. This starts to go on sale October 1st. So this is a new product. I guess you could call them products, right? I don't know. All right, let's take a look at some more here. This comes from JR Kyushu, and you can see the price changes are listed pretty clearly. Northern Kyushu, all Kyushu. Let's look at the all Kyushu 5-day pass, which seems to be, oh, let's look at the 7-day pass. Seems to be what I would get if I were to go around Kyushu, because I think you need 7 days. It used to be 20,000 yen, now it's gonna be 25,000 yen. That price increase is not that much. I think they took a look at it and they did some soul searching down in Kyushu. They have a soul, and they decided to raise it just a little bit, but it's on par with some of the other passes, just not as high of a percentage. Yeah, there you go, 5,000 yen more for the JR Kyushu pass. The Shikoku pass as well is already up there too. Here's the current prices for the all country Japan Rail Pass, which if you get them off of the website, you're gonna pay more, right? If you get them from sales and agencies, you do pay less right now. But after October 1st, everybody pays the same price. That's also something I want you to understand. There's not gonna be any discounts for resellers. So resellers obviously are not gonna be happy about this. Well, this is according to the press release now. This information could change. This is all updated according to today. So let's say we get the 14-day pass, which is the normal pass. It's if you buy them from a reseller at 47,250 yen, that pass is now gonna be 80,000 yen. But, I mean, the dollar is much stronger, so it doesn't hurt as much now. But like, you know, I was having a discussion with people inside the station, and I asked them, well, what happens if the currency goes down? Are you gonna lower the prices? And there was no answer to that because they just work there, they don't know. The decision makers will have to do it. If people stop buying the pass, they will alter the decision on this. So I personally, I probably am not going to buy the pass so much, but let me just put it to you like this, okay? Is it still a good deal? For a lot of people, the pass is still a pretty good deal. Is it worth it? People asking me, I live here, I can't get the JR Rail Pass. But if you're asking me about is the JR Rail Pass worth it still to you, get a calculator out and start doing some math yourself, because everybody is different with the way that they travel within Japan. If you're using the pass in the past to get on a train and go to Kyoto and then come back and you save 5,000 yen and you said, okay, there's my pass, that's not possible anymore, and it's for good reason. Right now, the Golden Route is so crowded, and I talked about this before, is so crowded that it is uncomfortable, not just for Japanese that are living here, but for tourists. There's so many large suitcases now blocking the aisles, people sitting with it in front of them. There's not enough space for the oversized luggage compartments anymore. Businessmen have been complaining that they can't get off of the train in time because of people fumbling around. The Shinkansen is sometimes delayed because people not getting on and off the train. So a decrease in ridership might not be a bad thing. I'm just saying this because I sort of believe that from Japanese, the complaints are taken quite seriously. If they're going to revamp the services and add more to try to expedite more people getting off and on the train, more English speakers, more infrastructure, then I see some value in this increase, but it's hard for me to justify that the yen is weaker, so therefore they need to raise the prices as a reason. Now, and I see the live chat is quite active. Michael, that's one way to look at it. I asked if, all right, the fair thing now is, all right, if you're raising the price of the JR Rail passes and all the other regional passes, are you also raising the price of the Japanese tickets for us? Meaning if I get on a Shinkansen here and I go to Kyoto, I think you're paying what is it, like 12,000 yen or something like that? 11,800 yen, I can't remember. Are you gonna raise that? Are you raising our fares for the citizens? And there was no real answer because they just work at a window. They're not the people making the decisions. But there seemed to be unofficially a hesitation and a look in the eye, and I translate it as this, which 25 years of living here does. Yeah, John, you know what? This is them looking at me and communicating with their eyes. Yeah, John, you know what? We don't know yet. In fact, the tourists getting a heads up this advance, that's actually something that we would never get here. So possibly within a month before, in September, because the price of everything in Japan is going up, including energy, there's a good chance that the prices will raise for us too. So I can't answer this. So this is what I'm telling you with my eyes. That's what I got. And that makes a lot of sense. Doesn't it? Honestly, there's a good chance that the price of the Shinkansen is going to be raised for me as well. And I don't live here. I can't get the JR Rail Pass. I can get the regional passes. So if it does raise, then I'm in not a good spot, just like you, if it does raise. There's a discount ticket seller just down the street though, so you can get 1,000 yen off your train tickets, but I don't even know how long that's going to be. I can tell you this, JR took a hit during the pandemic with no tourists, and it wasn't their fault. It was because of the policies of allowing people in and the shutdowns, and I don't think they were really compensated much by the government for it. So they really took a big hit, and this could be their way to try to get that all back. And I'll tell you this, people are not going to stop buying the JR Rail Pass. It's just more expensive. All right? It's just more expensive. I'm really thankful that I have ideas of what's going on. Like, I kind of know people in here. It's nice. All right, I'm going to move away from this spot here, a little bit away from the stations. All right, let's go over some of this stuff. So I also put in the JNTO link that was released just a couple of days ago. Yeah, I'm moving away also because there might be a lag. Move away from the station. It's quite windy today. So are we back yet? If I move away a little bit, signal usually gets a little better. At least I'm in Minecraft. And by the way, if you're watching this in playback, all the information that you need will be told in the first 15 minutes of every live stream. So you don't have to watch the entire thing. It's a live stream, so we're playing catch ball with everybody doing chats in here. All right, here's the good news. Dun, dun, dun. Is there good news? There possibly could be good news. Okay. All right, number one, if you buy one of these new rail passes, all right, okay, let me start from the beginning. Okay, I see Harb Life is here. Probably gave something similar on his channel as well. So I might want to go over and check that out. Those that are coming here, that are coming here in December, November, and October, you can get that pass in advance and you can use that pass here. But I want you to be mindful. This is also in the press releases, so I've confirmed this. But be mindful of the date in which you purchase it. It's only valid for 3 months from that date, and you can only make Shinkansen reservations 1 month in advance. So just keep that in mind. So if you buy a ticket on November 21st, that ticket is only, you have to validate it by December 21st. I would say December 20th just to be safe, all right? Because it's just like a day behind and all this other stuff. So I want you please to keep that in mind. You do have that option, in particular from resellers. If you buy the ticket from resellers, they will honor it. So that's been confirmed. That's good news number one. Good news number two, they've got a range of various products that will be discounted for those that hold the pass. They pretty much just include the JR hotels, which are kind of nice, and there's advantages to staying there. I've stayed at 3 of them, one in Sendai, which was attached to the Metropolitan, which was attached to the hotel, one in Hakodate. Peter and I spent the night there. We walked to the morning market, which was only 100 meters away, which is awesome, and one in Miyazaki, and that was okay. It was all right. It was all right. It wasn't the best, to be honest. So you get discounts. So there you go. And then number 3, you get to ride, but don't jump up and down yet. I see Michael Sasano is here. You get to ride the Nozomi and the Mizuho Shinkansen. Yeah! If you got on a Nozomi train, and this is why I like living in Japan a little bit. I can't get this pass, I pay full price, but I like this little piece of VIPism. Well, I wouldn't call it that. They say if you're holding a JR Rail Pass, you cannot ride this train. And I look around me, I don't see too many Ford faces like, yeah, it's just for us. But that's all changes October 1st if you have cash. All right, I have it here. Boom. All right, if you have the cash, this is funny. So if you want to ride the Nozomi and the Mizuho, this is the upgrade charge you must pay on top of the JR Rail Pass. I'm saying this as I crack up a little bit because I'm not only shocked and I'm smiling and laughing because it's so bad, it's funny. It's ridiculous. So if you buy a ticket for Tokyo Station, you're going to Nagoya, you want to ride the Nozomi, that's your prerogative. You can do it. You can't even do this. But now with the upgrade, it's 4,180 yen. You can get to Nagoya on a Nozomi. You just have to pay about $30 more. What? This is crazy. You want to go to Osaka by Nozomi? Sure. Pay 4,960 yen. Hey, you want to go from Shinosaka to Fukuoka, Hakata? That'll cost you 4,960 yen more. How about Hakata to Kagoshima? That'll cost you 4,500 more to go maybe about 20 minutes faster. And have them, but that's maybe a little bit more because the train might be earlier for you. So keep that in mind. Michael Sasano, lunchtime in Japan, snack time. Thank you, Michael. By the way, I got Leo and Kanai some coconuts, so we're gonna be snacking on that. And Bradshaw Studios in the house, Bradshaw Studio. Thank you always. I really appreciate it, guys. So those are the prices. The press release, all of the links to that is in the description of this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Encourage me to give more of these updates because in September, I'll give you another reminder and an update because I got a feeling this information keeps changing. This isn't an information live streaming channel. I usually will just take you around here, but because this is something that people are very curious about, I think it's important that you learn more about this. So there's the news. There's also a great resource, the Japan Guide. TokyoCheapo.com doesn't have information on this yet. I can't believe I trumped this to the story, trumped them on this story. What? But if you're planning to visit Japan in the future, you can still take advantage of the current prices. This is just a note from JNTO and from Japan Guide. There's two of the aggregators of information as well as this channel. But so just keep in mind that on the bottom there, if you're coming in December, make sure you get the pass. Purchase it on September 21st for December 20th. Just make sure you do that. Arthur Vandelay's here. Hey, Arthur. Yeah. And again, all of the passes are impacted. I'm just shocked at the regional passes. Now, if you've been watching for 15 minutes, that's all the information that I have for you. That should be enough to give you a good idea of what your trip is going to be, what's going to cost you now, a little bit more. So there you go. Hold on a second. Wide here. You can see the Shinkansen going by up there, and I thought I was going to go up there and get a beer and kind of just talk with you up there at the Hitachi-no, but the signal is not great right now, and it could be because there's just a lot of people on the platform. Yeah, John Yim, if you read the comments, please always read the comments of the live streams afterwards if you find a mistake. There's already been 100 people who have told me that the Android phones from the US can't have the technology to use as an IC card, which is strange. That's not Japan's fault. It's like, what's up with that Android phones outside? But if you purchase an Android device in Japan, it also can work as with NFC receivers here. Japanese, we can go across the street here. They knew that there was going to be some bottlenecks. The taxi line, if there's a line from here, so you don't have to get it at the taxi queue. I just want to say that. Most of the taxis aren't even going to go into the taxi queue. They're all taking a right turn. The taxi queue, they would enter in there. It's kind of, oh, they'd enter over there, so they're not even going to the taxi queue. It's crazy. Yeah, there's going to be some bottlenecks and there's going to be some changes to tourism. And I think 2023, we're not done yet. There are going to be private railways that also raise the prices for tourists. I don't think that JR is the only one that's doing it. They just happen to be the biggest one. There's Tokyo Station sign right there. And I think, you know, for tourists here, you guys are getting it pretty good. It's 142, 143 to the dollar right now. But that's not an excuse to raise prices. I think you want to encourage people to come to Japan. But the situation here is not good. All right, let me sit down with you in the grass here. I got a little grassy knoll here. The situation in Japan is not good. Can you not hear me? Can you hear me? It's crazy. Anybody? Bueller? It's a poor signal here too? What? It could be from the construction. John touching grass. You think it's the grass's fault? How can we be down the 440 feet? I've streamed here before. The signal's usually quite good. All right, I'm just gonna keep walking away from the station here. I got a lot to talk about. You don't never apologize unless you're really sorry. Relaxed. Never apologize, just for the sake of saying sorry. I refuse your apology. I'm tired of people going sorry, sorry, sorry. It's like, really? I'm not sorry. JR should be sorry a little bit. It's a little bit too much. But as I told you, the staff in there also kind of hinted that if we don't know for domestically, prices will increase for the Shinkansen because energy consumption is really high. But as I said, right now, WRX Turbo is in the house, and right now, the inflation in Japan is really starting to hit home. I'm feeling it with the groceries. I know I'm paying at least 20% more and a lot more on certain products. And I'm starting to really feel it. Kanai and I are at the bills. The energy consumption, I think TEPCO has raised the rates because this summer has been hideous. And we have a more efficient air conditioner too, more efficient TV. It's the same TV. But everything is a lot more efficient, but the prices keep going up. And we're using less of it because we're conscious of this. So I think that might be one reason why JR isn't raising the prices, because that would just really hurt. And a lot of workers are not getting increases in pay yet. I want to tell you something, guys. One of the reasons I don't work in a Japanese company, I love working with other people as a freelancer. I love working with corporations to make videos and everything. But I have a lot of respect for them because they do it more for the corporation than they do for themselves. There's a team thing here. A lot of people have not gotten pay raises, but they're still doing the same amount of work and the same job. So I get a lot of respect for them, the workers here in Japan. But at the same time, they can't afford to take those holidays with their families. Remember Michael Sasano's here and Brandania might be here. When I went to Hawaii, I talked with a lot of other businesses, because English also is kind of cool. In particular, so a pancake shop there, and there were very few Japanese tourists, which was uncommon. Same with Guam, very uncommon, not a lot of Japanese tourists. Why? It's because of the yen being too expensive, and Japanese workers have inflation at home and they just don't have disposable income like they did to travel. So a lot of Japanese are traveling domestically. This is leading, in particular right now, to a lot of short fuses with Japanese on the trains because they all want to go to like the beaches. They all want to do the things domestically because they would have gone abroad. But now the rest of the world came here because of the cheap yen, and everywhere is just super crowded, more so than usual. People aren't used to the crowds because we didn't have them for 4 years, right? And I think that this isn't just with the Japanese, this is for the foreign tourists. And I see some short fuses with people in Kyoto. You can see the videos on Instagram and TikTok and whatnot where it's just too much, two crowds. The service is suffering. People can't speak English. People who have never traveled outside America. I saw one TikTok video or Instagram video where some Western guy was yelling at a poor staff member at the metro station to get the manager. So, all right, what's the manager gonna say? Most of the time they'll just let you go in for free, but I think there's stopping that too, because that's not a good precedent to send. So, you keep cutting in and out of the live stream, John writes in here. All right, let me keep moving. Sorry about that. I don't know. I don't know how the signal is unless you tell me. Yeah. Towards the, oh, you know why the signal is not good? Because a lot of people are using their smartphones at lunchtime. That could be the reason why. The upload speed, and it's not the download speed, it's the upload speed in particular, and it does suffer at lunchtime. I should have gotten here an earlier. It's my fault. I should have gotten here an hour earlier. New hotel. Looks like a hotel. Or office, dental building. Interesting. It looks like the front of a hotel. That's a nice looking dentist building. These skyscrapers here are all being built on the Yaesu-Guchi side, so it's going to look different when you get here in 2024. You can see this is just the start of the building. It looks like it's going to be a really tall one. It's going to be a real tall one. All the buildings except for this one, because it's got all of the, there's a lot of money in this building they don't want to sell, because they probably weren't promised they weren't promised a place in the new office, and they want to have one in this area. So maybe they're negotiating. But you can see the new building is coming straight onto this one. That's hilarious. Do you see it? This is an old discount ticket shop. Daikokuya is also a pawn shop, I believe, and they refuse to sell. And why would they? Unless they got a really good price. But on the first floor, you can get discounted tickets. Do you see here? And they recycle. You can get discounted tickets here. Let me show you. For example, it's one way to Nagoya from Tokyo is 10,560 yen. They'll give you a 560 yen discount because they buy the tickets in bulk. The same with Tokyo to Kyoto. It's 13,320 yen. They'll give you a 400 yen discount to Kyoto. This all adds up if you're going there quite frequently, or if you have a family, that's 2,000 yen. And it's the same ticket. They're Juseki tickets, non-reserved, so there you go. They also have discounts on flights as well because they buy them in advance, buy them in bulk. It's all pretty good stuff. But that's funny, you got a Showa era building that wouldn't sell. And I'm sure they were offered a ridiculous price. Here it is from this angle too, and you have the construction of the new skyscraper going up right behind it. But they're gonna be in front of it, so I'm thinking that they're gonna have a pretty good, after this construction is completed behind them, I would destroy this building and then build a new one here. That's what I would do. Because the rent is gonna be, it's gonna be an extraordinary property. This used to be Sakura Avenue, and I believe there was a Starbucks on this side back in the day. I'm talking like 1999. All right, I'll take some questions here. We're 30 minutes into this, and yeah, I am pretty upset about the price changes, but there's not a lot that I can do about it. Why don't you guys sound off and let me know, what do you think? And this is also where you can write in where you're from. It's always neat to see where our viewers are watching from around the world. But JR staff and the JR station and the train staff are exceptionally professional, which is one reason we prefer Japan. Yes, thank you, Nate. I agree with you there. I can be upset with the prices, but I will never get upset with the staff because they do amazing work, and you don't tip them. If you get paid in US dollars, though, rent should probably be decent. Yes. Those that are getting paid in dollars do quite well. I get paid in yen. So when you do super chat or you pay on Patreon, it works out okay for me. I guess they right now the conversion is that way. So the US has suffered from major inflation too. That's the point. So like, I don't know. I don't think that JR sees that though. Maybe not. Maybe we should, I was hiding in the shadow. Maybe you should voice your opinions and write messages to them. Let them know how you feel about this, you know? I think that that's important. I love JR, I love the services, I love that they're making hotels, I love that they're trying really hard to make it easier for tourists to get around, more English speakers, more training for staff for non-Japanese, how to deal with Westerners is also a different skill. It is. So like it's getting a lot better, but they're passing that cost on to you right now, and eventually it'll probably get passed down to us. Yeah. JR West gives 50% off a single ride per shareholder voucher. Many decide to resell these. Interesting. Yeah, you can get them at the resellers, as well as if you don't want to, if you have 3 days left on a 5-day pass, sometimes you'll find like discounted Shinkansen tickets where someone will sell the last week of their JR Rail Pass. They'll get like $50 for it, and then they'll make a profit of $100 because there's risk involved if they don't sell it in time. You'll find some interesting things in these reseller shops. They, of course, validate the authenticity of it all, but I've never had a problem with them in 25 years. From San Francisco, workers need to demand higher pay so that there's more money in the economy instead of going to investors and the wealthy. So everybody's got a feeling about it. You know, I forget, was it Milton Friedman had an expression. I don't know if you guys know the old economist. I studied economics at university. I better not cross the street if we have a good signal. He had an expression about inflation. I guess, well, we get inflation when we're printing too much money. I think it was as simple as that. So when the US is just printing more money, which they're doing, inflation also is a result of it. So I don't know. I might be misquoting a great economist there, but there you go. And it impacts everybody. Brandania is here. Aloha. All right, I'll take one last question because I think we've moved on from this. Some airlines offering free domestic. I think there's some deals. So for me, I believe that it's easy. It's best to raise the price crazy and then give discounts on it. So I'm guessing based on the results of this, they can easily discount the prices, and then a year from now, it looks like a better deal. But we're gonna wait and see how it goes. And then the JR Rail Pass might come down in price based on the resellers. Maybe you get 10,000 yen off if you get it from a reseller, but if you buy it here in Japan, this is the original price. I would say expect this 2024 going forward, that they come up with new pricing schemes, because resellers do get a discount, can get you a discount. They do resell it at a cheaper price, and they make money off of that too by reselling it. So there's a commission. ANA has a promotion too. Bottom line, guys, if you're taking the Shinkansen down to Kagoshima and then coming back and you're overusing the Shinkansen, I think JR knows who you are, and they decided that there's so many people that do this, it'll still be worth it. It'll still be worth it. So that 70% increase for a lot of people is worth it. And then if you get your calculator out and you do the math, it probably costs about the same going to Kyoto and Tokyo. You're only saving a couple thousand yen. So that's the reality of it all. And if you want to take the Nozomi, you can. If you accidentally take it, you just have to pay like $30 on top of the pass. Is it a cash grab? It sure sounds like it. It sure sounds like it. It sure sounds like it. This all starts October 23rd. Sorry, October of this year. And they have not raised the price in decades. And I want to be perfectly fair with JR. I said this is a cash grab. It sort of is. They did a horrible job with this. They should have been raising this in increments, but there was no inflation in Japan, and they didn't really think about this. And now that they have, we are going to feel the heat in October, and then give it 2 months, give it until 2024, and no one's going to be talking about this anymore. Right? No one's going to be. Do you like how I made this opaque? I mean, like, you can see through it. It's kind of cool. It's a PNG. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Just a shout out here. We still got some places left for our trip. I put the link right there, too, in case you can't get the QR code. I want to be somebody. I really want you to say, I'm going to put it down here because you can see better. I want to be somebody that's promoting the countryside. And go to this link and join me in a bus tour And I want this to succeed, and I need your help for it. We have about 20 spots still remaining, and we have until about August 12th to get 3 or 4 more of those. And Jared in Hawaii is really helping out. Thank you, Jared. He's been sharing the link. A couple of people, Steve, who lives here in Japan. If you live here in Japan, that would be great too. If you want to join us, I'll join you on the Shinkansen going out there. This is before the price increases, so you can get a Tokyo East pass and get out there. And then after the fireworks, you can explore, go up to Akita or something like that. But yeah, all the information on here is at that link or that QR code. And we'll be going to see the mega shell fireworks shot off by Honda-san. And it is incredible to see. That's the Yonshakudama, which is 420 kilograms. I think maybe even a little more. Goes up about 1 kilometer in the air and stretches 1 mile wide. It is massive. Has to be lowered in by a crane. And you get to see this on the 10th in the evening with me. We got VIP seats. We're gonna get a chance to meet with Honda-san and talk with him so you can ask him some questions. And you get a picture with a replica of at least with the replica. I don't know if you'll be able to go into this closet like I did, but a replica of the Yonshakudama, which is the same size at the information center, and we're gonna get some street food together, which I think is gonna be a lot of fun. So that's a QR code if you wanna scan it with your camera app. Get the playback there. Thanks everybody. Oh, one other thing. I don't have that information here. Tomorrow, I'm gonna see if I can get, a lot of you are asking about Earth Celebration. Earth Celebration is this event that they have on Sado Island in Niigata. It's one of my favorite summer festivals. Kodo is a taiko group that travels around the world, bringing their culture with them of taiko, which is incredible. I've been to the Earth Celebration now 2.5 times, and I've actually was at their training facilities and saw them practice, so I got a great love for Kodo. I'm gonna see if I can get somebody at Kodo on a live stream this weekend to talk about the preparations for the Earth Celebration, and they still have some tickets available for that. I wanna see them sell this out, because I know that Kodo is how it's written. I wanna see them sell out the Earth Celebration this year, because the last 3 years, they've really worked hard to do online Earth celebrations. It's just not the same. And now it's the first time that it's opened up really to foreign visitors. So there's a lot in the more affordable tickets. I think they're about 4,000 yen. It is if you go, and you can camp on the beach there, by the way. You save a lot of money, and it's an incredible experience. The vibe is unbelievable at this, and they make some of the best Japanese sake in Japan. So go check that out. I'll see if I can share on Instagram some information about it, but the fact that they still have tickets available means that tourists coming here to Japan don't know about it yet, or they've forgotten because it hadn't been broken up for a few years. So hopefully we'll see them with a full house. Beach camping is pretty awesome on the Sea of Japan. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. There's the Holdout, that ticket shop, which I love looking at this. You see this in Japan all the time. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I got your make sure you read the comments before you give a comment, because sometimes it's already been answered, but you can go ahead and do it anyways because activities, good for the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button, and I'll see you in a main channel episode pretty soon. I'm uploading it probably next week because I want to get it right, but it's about the Tokyo fire bombing, and as we put our attention on Hiroshima and Nagasaki next week, I also want to remember those 120,000 that were lost, over 100,000, let's say. It's really hard on the numbers, and I don't want to get into debate about that. I think Japan underestimated it for reasons, and that I think everybody should be counted. So it's over 100,000 lost their lives on March 9th and 10th, and it's just war. We don't blame anybody. It's just war, and I live here, so when we think about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, it's also good to think about people in Tokyo, which is my home, and it's very relevant. A lot of them are still living many people are still living that were alive, that were there that day, and I got a chance to talk to them in this episode, so it's gonna be really eye-opening for me to make it and for you too. All right, everybody. See you in a live stream tomorrow. Another really interesting episode. If you have any ideas, you can let me in the comments below, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.